coming into this video whenever you find yourself. Today I would like to share a few words with you regarding stress. What is stress? Because in this life that we're in, many of us are stressful. Life is stressful for many people, and this has driven so many to lose hope, to lose strength, and to not know who they are, not be able to find themselves in the world, to feel like all is lost because there is so much stress. So I would like to talk about stress so that we have an understanding of what stress is. When you become spiritual, or when you become more aware of what Christ is, who Christ is, and the importance that He takes in your life, you shouldn't no longer be experiencing the negative side of stress. This is what stress. Now let's define what stress is. You see, stress is basically the ability for something to stretch. This is my definition. Stress is basically the ability for something to stretch, to expand. What does this mean? For example, when you're working out, your body is stressing because your muscles are stretching and expanding, allowing you to expand and contract so they can take in the energy, release the energy. That is stress. When you're walking, your body is stressing. So stress is a natural part of life. Stress is involved in everything. So stress in itself is not a bad thing. However, stress, when it's not handled properly, can lead to distress. Then when it leads to distress, which is a negative side of stress, then it can lead to all sorts of other things. It can lead to problems like psychosis, and even take you to the hospital. It can lead to a real bad side effect that is not pretty. And that happens when you do not acquire the ability to handle the stress properly. The Bible, Jesus tells us in the Bible that we should put all our burdens on Him. You see, as a Christian, you should no longer be suffering from the negative side of stress. You should not be in distress. That is not a Christian mindset to be in. To be in distress means that you do not trust Christ, that you do not have Christ in you. And so it is important that we understand that in order to not allow stress to lead to distress, we must acquire some tools, spiritual tools, and implement it in our lives daily. For example, what is one of those spiritual tools that we must acquire so that we do not fall into distress? Constant meditation, meditation upon the Word of God, meditation upon life. But this meditation is not to assign negative meaning to things. Whatever is happening in your life, whatever you're experiencing in your life, whatever it may be, maybe you've lost a job, maybe you don't have the financial capability to be able to take care of yourself or your needs, whatever it is, do not focus on the negative, but always try to see the positive. And the positive side of whatever you're going through is that God will not put you in a situation that He knows you cannot handle. If you are not valuable, if you are not capable of handling this life, God will not have created you to be here. And because of that understanding, you should know that whatever situation you find yourself in, God has your back. God is beside you. God has tools around you that you can use. It is only up to you to figure out what those tools are. That's a tool that you can use to remain positive. Because when you're in stress, everything is stretching and expanding. Your heart is palpitating blood. And so if that continues and continues, what happens is that not only does it put a lot of stress upon your body, which can lead to biological complications or physical complications that will lead you to the hospital. It can also take your mindset or your state of mind into a very dark place where Satan can take advantage. You have to understand that when we are in stress, Satan is at the door waiting to see what mistake we will make. And so therefore, it is important that you don't fall into distress. Because once you fall into distress, you fall into one of the vices that Satan has in order to control your life, in order to start doing more damages. Because once you fall into that dark place, he can lead you further into darkness, where you start distancing yourself from people. You become distrustful of people, where you become so pitiful of yourself. You become so distasteful of God. You reject God. You think God no longer loves you. You see, you go deeper and deeper into the darkness. Therefore, it is important that you don't allow yourself to get there. This is a tool that we can use to help each other. This is a tool that I use for myself. A tool that you can also use for yourself in order not to fall into distress. Thank you for listening to this little session that I had to share. You have a good one.